Yeah, Chelsea are definitely beating us, mate. They just look.
Every
They're
week.
just, at the minute, they're different gravy to City. They are. Chelsea are playing so well at the
I'd
minute.
be quite confident if I wouldn't be that bad if I was a Tottenham fan. I know
Listen,
Chelsea as well.
He's going to keep doing this while they keep winning. I'm telling you now. I don't believe a fucking shit. That's what it is. He's talking absolute shit. In his fucking tiny little mind now, he's like, he thinks they're going to win everything this year. They're the best team in fucking Europe. He's saying it cool because it's working for him. Don't listen to a word of it, man. I see right through your shit.
What's really funny is I got my guitar out earlier, yesterday, and my little one loves it. He just loves like playing at the strings, but bloody fucking broke one of the strings, bit it, the little fucker. He's like, what is he? He's like a little rat.
He just wants to be foreign.
Fighting guitars.
Yeah. What's that, Ken?
He's a fucking wild animal. Who goes around?
Yeah, he is. Honestly, he's 1 year of age, mate. He'd be gnawing on the drywall in a minute.
Yeah, but that's proper rock and roll, isn't it?
yeah, that's it. Yeah.
He's playing up to it. That's what he does.
I wonder where he gets that from,
Right,
Joe.
Kenny, we are definitely, mate. We're definitely starting with you. 100%.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Let's get your shit out of the way, shall we?
I'm going to take a different.
I want your honest opinion as well, Kenny. Don't
Shut up, Dean. Let him
Hey,
speak.
Dean, let him fucking speak. Let him have his moment.
Right, listen, I'm going to take a different approach this week. Instead of being a bitter and twisted Arsenal fan, right? I'm going to be a football supporter and look at it from a neutral standpoint. You can sit upward. Honestly, that's fine.
I'm just showing Dean. There's a trophy there, Dean. I don't know if you can see that.
Oh, fuck this trophy.
That's history, Woody. No, he needs a history. Fuck history.
Well in, Kev.
Silverware, Dean.
Right, the Arsenal game then. Fucking hell. I was just saying to these boys before we started recording that it was the first game in a long while where I wasn't optimistic before kickoff. Normally, in the week building up to it, I'm sort of on the fence, so I'm like fucking negative about it. And then on the day, lineup comes out and I start getting excited and shit like that. Today was the first day I was like, because having Pepe, Aubameyang and Willian like going forward, that would mean something, but I mean, it don't mean shit now. It's weird. And do you know what I thought of as well? It's going to sound really fucking strange. You see Space Jam, the film?
Yeah.
You know that basketball that you just touch and it sucks all the fucking power and talent.
Oh, the talent, yeah.
That's what we've got in the changing room because before, when we were struggling, right? If you said to me, right, you're going to have Willian from Chelsea, lethal. You're going to have Aubameyang from Dortmund. And you're going to have this fucking young lad, Pepe. These are the stats from what he was doing at Lille. You'd be like, fucking hell, that'll do me. Get a geezer on loan from Real Madrid. You'd be like, yeah, fucking done. And then it's the same shit. It's near, if you go back 2 years, maybe 3 years, it's like we're fucking near enough a whole new team. And that it's just the same shit. If anything, it's worse, isn't it? Going forward, there's nothing there.
So were they more on top today, or
Where's it start from, though?
Who, Arsenal?
Well, yeah.
Nah, not at any point. Not at any point. I think we had, what did we have? I think we had a shot on target, maybe 2 shots on target all game.
You probably had the best chance of the game though with Saka.
I know. Do you know what though, Joe? I think the keeper done well there.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, he did.
Pushed him out wide. He stayed up as long as he could. I thought he done fucking well.
He was like scrambling towards the end, sort of like crawling.
You know
almost.
He'd already gone down to make the save, and then he just done that last little jump off the ground to try and make it, and that's what saved it basically. So
yeah,
he's
looked a bit dodgy in some games, but I thought he had a good game today actually.
And they did have cover on the line. If I'm honest with you, they did have cover on the line, so I'm not sure it would have been a guy that got shot off. But.
Yeah, Saka was waiting for that moment. I think all he could have done there from the angle was dip it over him. Like what Welbeck did. You're waiting to see it.
Yeah.
But the keeper just wouldn't allow it, and I thought it was good. So I weren't mad at Saka for that.
He was brilliant. I thought he was brilliant today, Saka, again.
For the short while he was on, even Reece Nelson, he looks all right.
Yeah, he did actually. Yeah.
Willian and Pepe, you'd expect to be the boys for.
What do you think of Willock, Kenny?
What, in general or today?
Like, is it in general?
Joe Willock. I mean, I'm not overly excited by him.
I think he shows some really good signs.
He's been around for a while, though, isn't he? For you, like you've always heard about him, haven't you?
Been around for a while, yeah.
Yeah.
Emil Smith Rowe, but some days he looks really good and he shows signs. Other days he's sort of not a lot. But that's his first game in the Premier League this season.
How old is he?
I don't know. He's
He must be only about 19,
He's
sure.
about 22, isn't he?
He's older than that.
About
Is
22.
he?
Yeah.
He's
I've
been
been around for a
talked,
long while.
he's been talked about a lot of times, hasn't he? For the last few
21,
years, he's been
22, I
talked
reckon.
about, hasn't he?
Oh, I honestly thought he was much younger than that.
What do you think it is, Kenny? Like with
21.
with your attack. I mean, it's really weird how I understand, like you said, you know, let's get the basics of the defense sorted. But it's really weird how your attack have just like, as if like they've been told, right, don't worry about that, we're just going to leave it now. And it's like, it's just gone on. Do you know what I mean? You were always known for being attacking, but your defense would always let you down. But it's really weird how
The other way around now, isn't it?
yeah, it's very
Like you've done a
strange.
complete 180.
Yeah, it is strange. I
There's
mean,
no intent there. That's the thing. There's no intent. Like
no,
when they're shutting down earlier in the season and towards the end of last season, we were shutting down really well.
yeah,
When the defense had the ball, keeper had the ball, and it was one of our positives. But like today, there was no intent. Straight away, I thought they're not even shutting them down here. They're sort of getting in like Arsenal of old, like Emery Arsenal. They'd sort of get there or thereabouts, and I didn't see hardly any tackles today.
yeah.
Like Kieran Tierney was being stood. Tierney was one of our better players today.
He's a good player. He's
I'll
good.
use him as an example because if you show him the ball, Kieran Tierney's going for it regardless.
Yeah, yeah, 100%. Yeah,
I noticed it a few times with him, not just him, but no one was putting the foot in. No one was trying to stop him. It was basically they get a shot off or it goes out for a corner or goal kick. Do you know what I mean? It was like
yeah,
The confidence is so low. Like I noticed Aubameyang, like the sort of runs that he makes. He's known for making them great runs in behind. You know, he's lightning pace. He's almost stopped doing that.
Joe Willock actually reminds me of that. I think Joe Willock actually turned around and had a go at him. He got the ball. Like I think it was on one of the rare occasions we managed to intercept the ball in midfield, quite high up the pitch. Willock's taken a touch, looked on the line, and Aubameyang stood there watching him, and he's sort of sitting there screaming for him to make a move. I don't know whether Aubameyang doesn't have the belief that there's anyone in that midfield that's going to find him, so he stopped making these runs. I don't know if it's because he spent so much time out on the fucking left. He doesn't know how to play the centre forward role anymore.
it's really weird. Like you've got a lot of players out of form, in you. Like you've got Aubameyang, you've got William. That is really. I mean, I thought William would. You know, I expected him to be playing for you, and you know, like he did for Chelsea. I mean, bloody hell, one season, didn't he? When Woody said a couple of last week or so. Obviously, there was that one season where you know it just. I don't know. It's really weird. It's just how so many players. Would you? It sounds stupid. I'm not saying it would change anything. But would you put Ozil back in the team?
No,
Not starting 11.
That's the reason why we would need to do that. No.
When you wouldn't even try it just to see if he. I know he don't go back and all that, but
There's only so much you can do with those. There's only so many chances you can give someone for them to do it. And he's clearly showed that he doesn't have the motivation or the will to want to put himself out there for Arsenal anymore. I know you can say all you like about him, Ozil, saying, oh, he's not got the right service. His passion, his heart's not in Arsenal. He don't want to play. He just doesn't want to play. And when he does, he looks like he can't be bothered.
He doesn't want to do the nasty bits, does he?
well, Jose said, did he?
Does everybody remember David Bentley?
Yes.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. Do you remember he retired really young because he just fell out of love with the game? That's what Ozil reminds me of when he plays. He just doesn't care anymore. He's getting all this money and he's thinking, do you know what? I don't need to put a shift in. I'm getting all this for free, basically.
Yeah.
Well, you said about the Aubameyang thing. What I think at Arsenal is that, you know, we all know it. Football is about partnerships. Like when we was at Athletic, Kenny, you and Nick, yeah? Whether it be Ben and whoever up front, me and Dean in the middle, everything is about partnerships. If you strike a good partnership with someone, you believe in what they're going to do, and you know that when you make that run, they're going to find you. Or if you miss that tackle, they're going to be behind you and they're going to clean up for you. 100%. You've got to have the confidence to play your own game, and I don't see that on the pitch of Arsenal. I don't see them having them connections with each other, thinking, I'm confident. If I can get up the pitch here, Tierney's going to back me up. I don't see that. It's just like single people busting a gut, trying to make stuff happen.
Yeah, Lacazette's not in the team all the time, is he? He's never really in there for long, and if he is, it's like a game here, and then he's just on the bench again, isn't he?
Because that was a good partnership that was starting to.
I like them when Emre done that, didn't he?
Aubameyang and Lacazette, but that's fucking gone flat on its face.
Yeah, because Emre did that, didn't he? He did that for one. I liked it. It was like the first time you see two strikers playing together, and I was like, you know, it's just completely different to everyone else. But I don't know, it seemed to stop, didn't it? And then it's like Lacazette's just. I don't know. It's really
couldn't pick anyone. You couldn't pick it other than Saka.
Yeah.
And don't forget, Saka's not setting the world alight.
No, he's, yeah.
banging goals and getting assists for fun. We're not fucking scoring. We're not creating chances. So you can say, yeah, Saka's been the best of a bad bunch.
Yeah.
That's how you get your team chemistry. Isn't it? That's how you get your chemistry. It's the little partnerships that make up bigger partnerships. And then all of a sudden everyone's buzzing and they're like, you're doing great, I'm doing great. He's banging them in. And before you know it, everyone's buzzing. But there's I would say, another lack of leadership in the team. I don't see.
Oh, yeah.
You think that maybe there's also an element of the attackers thinking this is fucking shit. I'm a good attacker. I want to play attacking football, and we're not.
Well, I thought they were very lucky to keep hold of Aubameyang. If I'm honest with you, I thought you were very lucky to keep hold of him. I was surprised that he signed a new deal.
Well, were we lucky, or is he fucking lucky?
No, I think you were lucky. Mate, he's a cracking player. You can't tell me he's not. He's a good player.
Yeah, I know that. I know. But since he signed that contract, man, fuck me, has he fallen off? He hasn't scored an open play.
The same thing we had it with David De Gea, didn't we? Not so much now. He's doing all right at the minute, but David De Gea, didn't he? Signed his new contract, and it was like as soon as he signed it, it was like making error after error. Not like one every other game. It was like every game there was an error, and you're like, fucking hell. It's like, I've got my contract. See you later. But banging, it's really weird how it's. Yeah.
I don't know about De Gea because I feel like De Gea didn't want to be at United anyway. If I'm honest with you, he was eyeing that move to Madrid, and that was his preferred target. So I think he wasn't signing, not because he wanted to bump it up and get a massive contract at United.
We just threw money at him, probably.
But let's not forget, Aubameyang, there was a long fucking delay. This went on for, what was it, 3 or 4 months? We were saying about Aubameyang signing a contract.
Well,
Was he, let's be honest, he's probably waiting for a big club to come in for him. It never happened.
Barcelona and all that was sniffing, weren't they? And he's probably expecting them to bid, but no one did they? Because of
exactly. Maybe he thought that was his way out, and now I don't know.
Yeah.
But like,
I only pick on Aubameyang as well because he is wearing the armband, and I see no captain qualities from Aubameyang whatsoever.
No.
Last few minutes of the game, he started fucking running after the ball and trying.
Well, we put it on Kieran Tierney, wouldn't you? At the minute, the way he fights. Now, I'm not saying he's been there long enough to be the captain, but do you know what I mean? The way he's got a bit more passion.
You can see him after the game. Seen him after the game going up to fucking Alioski or whatever it was and like saying, you fucking cheat, you got my man sent off. Do you know what I mean? It was like, yes, that is
what I seen that yet. What happened with that red card?
He basically just Pepe just put his head, a little bit of Alioski and him having a bit of whatever a couple of times, and he just put his head down into him. It wasn't a headbutt. They just basically
it's just going towards him, isn't it?
Touched heads. Like, he's put his head down. He's touched heads, and Alioski's gone down like a sack of shit. Obviously.
Yeah, that's what I said to you, Dean. It's a fucking pathetic headbutt. It's just the rules at the moment. The thing is, if Alioski never went down at all and just stood on his feet, would have been a red card, do you reckon?
No one would have called it back. No, they would never have known about it, would they?
They wouldn't. No, it wouldn't have been brought up at all. So, is that clever play or cheating, little fucker?
No, he was on Pepe. He fucking riding Pepe, man.
well, it's on Pepe. You can't be that naive as a professional footballer.
Exactly that.
You know,
he fell for
like
it,
there's, and the thing is, right, like, look, at least if you were doing a slide tackle and you were too late, last man back, whatever, fair enough.
Yeah.
But if you're doing something silly like that, you're just going like,
stupid red card.
Yeah, and it's what he was trying to get. He was trying to get that response out of him. He was fucking him around in midfield. He was drawing it out of him. Pepe's young, naive, no you know what I mean? There's no, and Bellerin as well. So after I think it was after the red card, a couple of minutes later, there was a foul throw for Bellerin, which I think is his second or third this season, by the way. Which is,
yeah, I saw that actually. I was thinking Kenny's going to be fuming with that.
You see that in Sunday League, you go fucking nuts, didn't you? Never mind Premiership players, and it ain't the first time he's done it. Bellerin, he's always foul thrown. It's not difficult.
Where do you think you go from here, Kenny? Where do you think you go from here?
We keep plugging on, man. We keep, like I said to you last week, I've lowered my expectations, and it's a good thing, really, because I spent after the game, I weren't fucking pissed off, or do you know what I mean? So I was going to say suicidal.
You know what, Ken? A minute ago there, mate, you said Pepe's young. He's 25. He should have learned that by now.
Yeah.
That's not good enough, is it?
Good point,
no,
Joe.
it's not. It's like he's a 21, 22-year-old, isn't it, Pepe?
That's crazy, mate.
You can see he's got ability. It just hasn't come through yet. But
yeah, that's exactly what I think when I watch him play. I think he's got loads of talent. He's got speed. He's got, he's good at dribbling, but it just hasn't worked for him at all, has it?
Just a shit version of Sun, but we got him for 25 mil and they paid 80.
But he was good in France. Was it France he was sent?
It was only Mbappe and Messi, I think, that season we bought him that had like more goals and assists overall.
Yeah.
They did across the whole of Europe.
It's fucking mental, and it just hasn't worked out at all. What is he? 70 odd million, roughly?
80 they paid, didn't they?
80 fucking million.
But
Oh,
it was like over 5 years, weren't it? Because that's why Arsenal got him, because they were going to get Zaha, but they wanted the money up front, where Arsenal were like, no, we want to do it over 5 years, and Lille were like, yeah, we'll take it, but you got to pay more.
But from that, based on that season, though, Kev, you would have said, yeah.
You would have, yeah, you're right, yeah. See, that's the thing, man. I think people were in for him as well that same season. I'm bloody glad we didn't get him now.
Mate,
When we talk about Premiership players, though, you know, we're talking about Premiership quality, and people want to go for people that are Premiership proven, and that's exactly the reason why. Because if you'd have bought Zaha, there's no hit the ground running, there's none of that shit. He'd have been straight in your team and playing like he plays every Crystal Palace.
100%.
Lived in the same house.
A lad that's come over from France, who's probably he's pissed the league in France. Obviously, he's a cracking player.
Zaha is so much better.
Bags of talent and all the rest of it. Then he needs time to settle. Then he needs to, you know, as he got the language down, as he, you know, all these other things that come into play. He looks like he's shattered with confidence. He don't look like he's got any. You know.
Was it Pepe we were talking about earlier in the season that one of his family members died?
No, that was the centre back. That was the Arsenal centre back, wasn't it?
Saliba, was it?
Yeah, he was still
All
right, okay. All right. So really, like, I mean, he hasn't got any fucking excuse.
Pepe has got no excuse. He's been there.
In the words of Dino, he's on 100 grand a week. He should fucking hit the ground running. And that's what you say, Dino, isn't it?
Yeah, 100%.
Somebody help me, please.
Oh, Eric Lamella.
No way, mate.
Yeah, we keep, to answer your question, where do we go from here? I think we keep plodding on.
Yeah.
Arteta inherited a fucking shambles of a football club. Like, let's be fair to him. And he's still, I mean, today, the fact we kept a clean sheet today was, Leno made a couple of good saves, but the rest of it was fucking luck, man. They hit the crossbar twice. You didn't see it,
Well, Leeds did all right. From what I've seen, Leeds did all right. I thought Bamford was all right. I was quite impressed with him today. I know he didn't score, but I think he got a lot of stick for, you know, championship. I think he does all right, you know.
Leeds were good, man. I tell you, if you watched that game for the first time, if you come in you didn't know who the two sides were. All you knew that one was an established Premier League side, and the other side had just come up from the Championship. There's no way you would have looked at fucking Leeds and thought they were the team that just come up.
You know what? I spoke to Matty and Nolan that earlier, and Noel said exactly the same thing. He said they just look like a really well drilled top 10 Premiership team.
Yeah.
And we looked like we had no fucking plan.
What's strange is I thought you looked better when you went down to 10 men.
Yeah, he probably did. It's still a bit of fight into him, didn't it? That's when you see Aubameyang wake up slightly. Like he weren't. I mean, Aubameyang was fucking awful today. I can't tell you how many times I mentioned Giroud's name today. I've got no idea why we ever got rid of him.
Get him back.
Yeah, please. Can we have him back?
Hey, he's looking for an out. I'm not lying. He's looking.
Why are we not coming in for it? He probably
January. I think he's gone. He's gone in January. He got 6 minutes the other day. So like, all due respect, like I love Frank. I love what we're building. The rest of it. He needs more than that. He's a much better player. That's insulting.
What are you meant to do, man? What are you meant to do with Werner? I mean, Abraham's coming through and doing all right. I'd rather have Giroud than Abraham. Don't get me wrong. Like age aside, but.
I think Giroud at this stage of his career, he's smarter than he's learned the craft so well. He's smarter than Tammy, but Tammy does things that Giroud can't do. So I think I would still have Tammy over Giroud, but he's a quality player.
I think Giroud's improved over the last couple of seasons. I just think he's changed his game and he's done it. You know, when some players they get that age and they think, right, I need like a bit like what Giggs did when Giggs come on the inside, and it give him another 3 seasons, and he was playing centre midfield. Obviously, he can't do the runs, but I think Giroud's just.
That's because he plays his role.
Yeah.
He understands his role in the team, and he plays to his strength in that role.
Yeah.
The amount of times we weren't playing out from the back because we were getting shut down by Leeds, so we went long. Credit to Leeds, to be fair. So we boot it long, and it would just land to Aubameyang, and it must have happened 15 times, I would say, and not on one single fucking occasion did he bring that ball down, bring someone else into play, head it to a teammate, like lean on the defender, turn him. Like none of that happened. Every single time without fail, it either bounced off him because of the pressure from the defender, or the defender just removed him from the situation and fucking passed it away.
Yeah.
That's every time.
Kenny, do you want to hear something extra depressing?
Yeah, go on.
Go on, mate, hit me.
Firmino scored more than Aubameyang. in the Premier League.
Well, fucking hell. That tells you everything you need to know, doesn't it? Nearly 800 minutes in open play. That's how long he's gone. Nearly 800 minutes.
Don't you think your team is crying out for that big, powerful number 9 that can hold the ball up?
Yeah,
Well,
Giroud.
everyone's
Giroud.
talking about a creative midfielder, like someone mentioned earlier. Was it worth bringing him back in? But this is what I was saying about Giroud. The amount of times we went like Giroud.
Yeah, Giroud imperfect.
I mean, if you got Willian, Saka, Pepe, he would bring them into the game. That's the problem. They're not getting into the game. They're not in it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But we got rid of him for like he's about to fucking catch Thierry Henry's international goal scoring record, isn't he?
Yeah, he's only got a couple, isn't he? A couple to go, isn't he? To get
How
that.
underrated is this fucking dude?
Yeah.
We
Yeah,
sold him
he-
to our rivals for 18 million. It was 18, wasn't it? Wood? Something like that.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, I think it was 18.
What are we up to? I'd say this club over the last fucking decade or so was.
Mate, what did you buy him for out of interest? Because at Montpellier,
12, weren't it, or something? Probably like 12 mil or something, wasn't it?
for 2 seasons at Montpellier, he absolutely annihilated that French league. He was mustard.
Every season at Arsenal, we annihilated it. Very rarely did Giroud, or does Giroud now ever have a bad game?
Yeah.
At the very
Not really,
minimum,
no.
he doesn't get a goal or an assist. He's a fucking handful.
Yeah.
He'll still win your
Scored
headers.
for
He'll
fun
do the
in
flick-ons.
France as well. And
Okay.
any time he's not even starting in Chelsea and he's scoring for France for fun.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
People saying they need to leave to get game time so they get into the.
Wasn't that Wenger that
Come play, you'll get goals anyway.
was that Wenger that sold him though, weren't it? Was it Wenger?
Either the
Definitely.
end of Wenger or the beginning of Emery. Yeah, it was around that time, wasn't it? But it's a club decision, I think. It was a
Do you
club
think he'd go back, Kenny? Do
decision, eh?
you think he'd go back if you asked him?
I think he would.
Yeah,
I
I
don't
think
think
he
he
would.
would. I think he's burnt
You know
bridges.
what? I don't
He's
think
fucked
he would.
about since he left.
He wants game time. He needs game time.
I don't even think it's game
No.
time. I actually think he's a better, without sounding horrible to Arsenal, I think he's better than that now. I think he could go and play for Juventus or someone like that and he'd be a starter every week. I mean,
I think he could.
they got Morata back in, mate. I see Juventus. He looks
Yeah.
fucking shocking, mate. You wouldn't tell me you wouldn't pick Giroud over Morata. Like, come on.
I'll take Giroud over most fucking players.
All
I
day long.
think Giroud's getting any team in the world, wouldn't he?
Yeah, the Italian league's slower. Do you know what I mean? That would suit his game perfect.
Oh, he would, wouldn't it? He would look, you know, he would look amazing over there.
Well, if you can get Llorente to look amazing at Juventus, I'm pretty sure Giroud would look
Yeah,
like
exactly.
What team in the world wouldn't want Giroud? Like,
I think
I
so.
think he would go for him. A French player going back to the French league at that age, bit of experience, you know, like take the Cavani role.
Yeah.
yeah, Cavani looked sharp
They
actually.
were
No
great.
change the subject. But Cavani looked sharp the other day. That's like the first time I've looked at him. I thought, yeah, looks a bit sharp.
He'll end up in Turkey or America or something.
America. I think David Beckham's been chatting to him, to be honest, on a
Yeah.
serious note. I think he's been in his ear.
What is that for real?
Yeah.
Fucking hell. Doing
Trying to get him over in January to play for is it Inter Miami or whatever he started over there.
Yeah.
He's got a couple of player big names over there, hasn't he, already?
The Jemba.
Who's he got? He's got the one that played Matuidi, Blaise Matuidi, isn't he?
Tweedy, yeah.
And there a striker he's got playing for him. Oh,
Not David Villa.
no.
New York.
Who? Is it David?
New York.
That's it. You know that because they're affiliated with City, isn't they?
I know he's got Higuain, isn't he? That's it. Higuain
Oh yeah.
playing for him.
What over there, is he?
Yeah, he's still missing goals and stuff, you know.
Um,
You got
You
next.
have a tricky game, Ken. Wolves next.
Wolves,
Wolves
they
at
got
home.
Mulder first, didn't they? Mulder in the champs.
Ooh.
Well, yeah, Europa.
That could be a close one.
Oh yeah, you're right.
Undoubtedly, it will be. Undoubtedly, it will
Probably
be. But I'm not, like I say, I'm not going in with any optimism now. I'm just patience. I'm just going to say, right, Arteta's coming in. He has made some changes. He's made us more solid defense. Like all the stuff that we usually fucking talk about, right? He's done all that. He's going to need time, and you can't come into the state that Arsenal was in and get things fixed fucking quick time. It doesn't happen unless you're Ancelotti at Everton. It doesn't happen instantly. So let's just see how it fucking goes. I'm just going to hang in there this season, try and drag myself here to do this with you boys every week and get laughed at. Just hope.
Oh, but what is he going to do then to make it better? Who do you get? Who do you bring in? I mean, you've got on paper really good forwards.
You know what I mean?
Jack Grealish.
What you do? Honestly, I'm out of ideas. I think Martinelli could come in and do a job. I'd like to see him come in and fucking because he's back in training now.
Jack
So I'm looking
Grealish.
forward to that. But
Thing
other
is,
than that, just
Kenny,
pull their fucking socks up, man, and start doing what we brought them in to fucking do, what they were doing before.
I thought we'd see a lot more from you today, considering Leeds didn't just sit back and go defensive. And because obviously everyone knows that you sit back against you don't know what to do. I just thought if they're not going to sit back, Leeds are not like that. They only know how to play one way. So they're not going to sit back. That might play into your hands a little bit. But you just
they were a lot better for a side that have conceded so many league goals. I think they were down there, weren't they? Or up there, should I say, with like the highest fucking goals conceded.
Yeah.
They were defensively really fucking good. And that weren't just because we weren't offering anything and we had absolutely no idea what to do. It was also because every time we did get the ball, but they all got back. Like they really.
You see the ethic they got. They work for each other, Leeds. They work for each other. They play quick football and they play good football as well.
You can see that.
Well, as well. They had an entertaining game against Liverpool. I wouldn't back a bad game against Leeds. What was the one against Liverpool? It was 4-3, and it was kind of back and forward,
That was a good game. That was the first game of the season, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think so.
A draw against Leeds, they can hold a big team like Man City, Arsenal, and even look like
the exact epitome of attack and be the best form of defense, aren't they? Because they don't particularly defend well, but if you have the ball long enough,
that's what I mean. Penny, serious question, yeah. If you're playing Sunday League and you're marking a lone striker of either Lacazette or Aubameyang, mate, you'd man mark the fuck out of him. Ain't being funny, you would. You'd bully him. Like I said, like you said, Aubameyang today, they just get bullied, mate. They get bullied.
Hasn't Leeds got a striker that hasn't played yet? They paid a lot of money for.
Who's that?
Yeah, Rodri from Valencia.
Yeah.
He went close a few times tonight.
Oh, Hernandez. You want about Hernandez? Pablo Hernandez?
No, he's been there.
He's been there years. He's like 35.
Yeah, he gave away a penalty on the first game of the season, didn't he?
They bought one
against Liverpool.
What about Rodrigo then? He's been playing.
Yeah, Rodrigo, that's it.
He played today.
He didn't play today, though, did he?
No, he did. He came on about 65 minutes, 70
He
minutes.
hasn't played a lot, though, has he? That's their thing. Can you imagine if Leeds? I know the way that Bielsa's got him playing with one, and if they had a striker that was banging him them goals. I mean, that's the thing. I don't think
Patrick Bamford's doing all right, isn't he?
Yeah, right. But I think, do you know what I mean? If they had that more goals coming, but to be fair, anytime someone's playing them, if it's on soccer at any time, I've only seen anyone says, "Nah, draw against Leeds will be good," and you think, "Fucking hell, they've only just been promoted," but you can see why because the way they play.
Yeah,
everyone would be disappointed with a draw. Do you know what I mean? It's really weird, but fair play to them.
Because they've got that team chemistry. They've got the chemistry of understanding each other, but they work so hard for each other. There's a big difference. Like even any of the teams we talk about, Arsenal, Man United, City, Chelsea, Liverpool, Tottenham, shit, but whatever, it don't matter. If you work hard for each other and the fans see you working hard for each other and putting a shift in, you kind of don't mind if you draw a game that you know you should win the rest of the
year. Got them on side anyway because they've done their fucking best.
Exactly,
yeah,
but when you see there's, you're getting 70% effort from people that get paid fucking $200,000 a week, and you're like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
You're not even making runs anymore. You're not making tackles. I understand about confidence, and football is a game of confidence, and sometimes you don't do things because you don't have that confidence. But basic work ethic, just like Ollie said when he came into United, we're going to get him to a standard where they're running for a decent amount of the game. We're chasing balls down. We're doing this. You've got to go back to a basic where you're working hard. At the very least, as a professional footballer, you have to work hard.
Putting the effort in is the fucking minimum requirement.
Yeah, exactly.
What do you reckon,
Messi?
Then, Kenny? What's your predictions against Wolves?
I
like your timing for that next week.
Home, yeah, Arsenal home.
Fuck you, it's not late on a Sunday.
No.
Yeah, 7:15.
Shit!
And it's on
the library as well.
Shit.
Shit. Wolves are good as well. Proper good.
They're a good counter-attacking side, aren't they?
Yeah, I'm fucking not looking forward to that one either, to be honest with you. But I don't think really many easy games now. I know we've been saying that for years in the Premier League, but fuck me, is it true now? There ain't no easy games.
No.
Everyone knows how to fucking play, didn't they, against better teams? But I mean, I don't even know if we qualify in that category anymore. The way we're fucking playing, I don't think we do.
You're still ahead of Man City.
You got Man City, you got Man United, and Arsenal. We might have to change our teams in this lot, ain't we? Oh dear.
Right, should we talk about the Tottenham Man City game then?
Yeah,
No.
kill two birds with one stone with that.
Oh,
Not
I'll let,
talking about, no,
I'll let Paul.
we didn't talk about it because Tottenham actually fucking deserved to win. So I'll leave Dean go.
Your Majesty.
Your Majesty.
I don't know if we deserve to win. I thought, like Woody said, we defended really well as a team. Fuck,
I
our
did.
defence, Alderweireld and Eric Dyer. I thought, wow,
But
Yeah,
tactically,
oh,
we had it.
that was so good. Højbjerg in the holding mid, Oreo on the right back. Oh my god, he was brilliant. Nothing got past him. Even when Sterling come on, he had him for breakfast every time.
Højbjerg was
Kane.
awesome.
Harry Kane, there was a stat at half time. He's made the most tackles in the whole game at half
I
time.
think he made the most tackles throughout the whole game, didn't he?
Well, I didn't see it at the end, but yeah, crazy. Like, we
Yeah,
played so well as a team.
he's just such a good footballer, man. He's
Oh, mate.
on his day, and every other striker on their day, he's still the best by a long mile. If you ask me, he's that good.
I thought he was awesome.
It's like the commentators saying they spent how much on their defence, but Kane had the running of them every time. He was bullying them. He had them under his potch. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, and all it took was 3-4 shots
Yeah.
throughout the whole match, and he still won.
I think
It just shows to me that Man City just haven't bought well at the back at all.
they showed a stat over the last two games, Tottenham City. We beat them 2-0 last year, didn't we? And I think it was like they had like 26 shots to our 7, and we won 2-0 both occasions.
If I'm honest with you, I thought the first goal was a little bit embarrassing for City's defence.
Yeah, that was bad. Like our defence left it.
I think the keeper could have had both, Woody, if he'd have stayed in goal. I think both goals he come out and I don't know. It's like
He's known for that though, isn't he? Edison, he rushes out fast. That's his thing.
That's just a Brazilian style. Like,
mate, it opened up like fucking Christmas at that defence. It was ridiculous.
Yeah.
One ball, we just slid through. Not everyone was knocked over. Everyone was just standing like shit.
Yeah.
yeah, like some.
Woody. There was already one person next to Kane, and I think Laporte followed. Kane went a bit closer in, and Laporte followed, and there was a massive.
No, two of them. Two of them followed in.
Two of them.
That's embarrassing. I'm saying that's embarrassing. Like you don't even need to do that. You let your defensive midfielder come in and track and do his toes and that. Do you know what I mean? You stay in your position. Stay.
Yeah.
Yeah. I honestly don't think the last few games I've been going on, like the defense looks a lot more mature, but this game the defense just collapsed completely.
Yeah, they look too mature.
Very strong,
Overly
Like pensioners.
and they just look like they didn't play together at all.
I was going to say, Laporte and Diaz they did look lost, didn't they? It was really, I mean, especially that first goal. I thought that really was. I was surprised when I saw it.
It was two mistakes on their behalf. For the first goal, like Woody said, they could have stopped that easy, and the second goal was the same. Like
The Celso scored.
I haven't said that, Dean. I don't think
Walker had run up the
created
right.
one decent chance.
Pardon?
Man City, did they create even one decent chance? I mean, there's been a few long-range efforts.
Yeah, they had a few long-range efforts.
And then the Laporte one that got done for, what was it, handball?
Handball,
Yeah. Other than that, I mean, they did nothing. It was just a lot of shots and a lot of the ball for nothing.
You don't find though, De Bruyne looks like he was. De Bruyne was trying. He even wore on TV the naughty boy, but he looked like he was trying it. And like I said the other week, it looks like he's sort of. I know David Silva, you're never going to replace him, but it looks like De Bruyne. I mean, obviously he's nowhere near as what he was last season, but he seems to I don't know. He's just not having the effect.
Yeah.
Look, you can be the best passer in the world, but if you ain't got someone on the end of it,
Yeah.
Who uses it really?
City, right? I think they've got the same problem as a lot of teams here. It's that Tottenham are probably one of the most stable sides. They brought Højbjerg in, who walks into the first team. Other than that, it's pretty much the same as it was last year. You've been playing the same way with the same players. Whereas City, you've got so many new players in there in the midfield and in the defence. Now's not the time to play Son and Kane if you haven't got your defence together and like the partnership thing that Woody was talking about. That hasn't happened yet. It's too soon. And I think Tottenham, what they're doing up top, I think they'll do that to a lot of fucking defences this year.
Yeah.
I don't think
it was Man City mistakes either. And Ndombele turned 3 players in midfield before. Was it Ndombele before he played that ball through?
Yeah.
Do you think is there any truth in the old Guardiola thing? Because I know a lot of people.
I reckon
he burns teams out 2 or 3 years. He burns them out, and he obviously changes a lot of players because he feels like he burns them out and they've done their sort of job, and then they move on. He gets someone else in, but
I
Is there
wouldn't think
truth in
so.
that?
Because he like the 2 seasons where he got back-to-back titles, and then like last season, like Liverpool won the league, they kind of dropped back a little bit, but like they still kind of maintained the attacking style. They still got goals. This season we haven't had any goals. Like
Yeah, that has never been a problem.
goals in Brighton. We have everyone bar I think it's Sheffield, and like these are teams at the bottom that have about the same amount of goals as Man City have.
Yeah.
It's a proper goal drought because everyone else.
Gary Neville was saying though, wasn't he? Every time City were attacking down the sides and they weren't, Tottenham were letting them do it. Every time they got to the byline, it was just coming back. They weren't whipping it in. They were just coming back, starting again. It just weren't working.
City have left in 11 and scored 10 in 8 games. So they're
Wow.
-1 goal
You
difference.
think City are known for like scoring like 4 or 3 goals every game, weren't they?
Yeah.
But they always finish top of the goal difference table.
Yeah, all the
You know, I
time.
think one of the best things about City, and I would say it's probably the best in the world, is their press. When they start pressing you, you can't get away from it. But this season, I haven't noticed that being as, teams seem to be getting out of that. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Whereas before,
Yeah.
you swamp people in their own half, and you get the ball back, and it'd be like, Jesus, he's relentless. You cannot get away from the City press.
Different set of players now, though, isn't it? It's a
It
different
is.
set of players.
But like I was just watching the international break. Ferran Torres scored a hat-trick. Phil Foden scored 2. Ruben
He has
Diaz
scored
scored.
2, didn't he?
You know, like these players are scoring in the international game, and now they come back to City and play like
Yeah.
top opposition, and there's nothing happening. And I was like looking at the way we played last season compared to this season. Like even last season, like we weren't at our best, but we still scored like multiple goals per game. And even if we lost a match, it'd be like a 3-2 or a 2-2, or like
Can't lose 2-2, mate.
no, but like we draw games 2-2 or like.
Yeah.
But this season it was just like it's just been dry. There's like I know we've had injuries with Aguero and Jesus,
Oh shit.
but we have players there that are at the level that they score multiple goals a season, who aren't performing as they did before. I don't know if it's a confidence thing or is it the tactics have completely changed.
But does it not come into your head at all? Like what he said, is it not just that he's at the end of his cycle and that's it? He's done what he does with most teams. He gives them 3 or 4 years. Players burn out or teams figure them out or whatever, and maybe it's time for him to move on. But then all of a sudden he signed a 2-year contract.
I thought he was going, personally.
Yeah, so did I.
I thought he was going back to
At the start of the
Barcelona.
season, I thought this was his last season.
Yeah, I thought he was going to Barcelona.
That's what he usually does anyway, is like he'll sit out his contract and then go to another club. But there must be something in Man City that he wants to stay because.
Well,
Tell you what it is,
it's
Paul.
possible that he won't go to another club because they're not going to give him all the money.
Got to be Messi, innit? Messi's coming.
It's Man United. He's waiting for that Man United job.
Well, you never know, do you?
Oh, it's never going to switch from there, would he?
He needs Messi to win the Champions League. He's never won a Champions League without Messi.
Mate, you don't. Messi
Yeah,
never
true.
got Man City. Never. Come
He
on.
has to.
Nah, mate.
But
Do you
like,
think
honestly, I
Sorry.
look, there is Man City fans who are going, like, this is the worst I've ever seen Man City. I was like, look, I remember being in Main Road when we were playing Wycombe Wanderers and fucking laugh. You know, I could just say, like, look, calm the fuck down.
Yeah.
We will fucking play better football eventually, but like at the moment, something needs to change.
He's like, don't forget, we used to have Richard Dunn and Darius for sale. So,
I used to love the Rice for sale.
For England, outstanding.
Yeah.
He has the most own goals.
yeah, he was like our Frank Sinclair for Chelsea. You guarantee he could always score an own goal. Whatever the situation will be, he'll get an own goal.
But honestly, Spurs just deserve to win that match. It was tactically, Mourinho did his homework. He just did the same thing as last season, 2-0, and frustrate Man City as much as they can. You
Are we
know,
seeing a little resurgence in Tottenham, Paul? Are we seeing a little resurgence in Mourinho? I know he's always been tactically good, and everyone knows he's always been tactically good, but he seems to be picking up a little bit of traction now.
Yeah.
Well,
Woody,
like,
one thing I do know, Woody, is the players are believing in it. Whatever he's saying, the players are definitely believing in it.
That's what he did at Chelsea. They all
That's
bought
90%
into
of the
him.
battle right there.
That they bought into him,
Yeah.
and I think when he was at United, they expected him to turn it. It was like, we need you to turn this around. Whereas when we got him at Chelsea, it was like,
that was the
you
wrong
do
man.
your thing. You do what you're good at. We have trust in you. You do whatever you want. You get the players you want. Make it happen. Whereas at United, it was like, we need you. You have to turn this around. We're in a shit spell.
I think
You have
he's
to do
got
this.
he's got Kane playing perfectly, hasn't he, as well?
He has.
I think that's what Mourinho loves. He never had it. I know he had Lukaku and that at Man United, but it wasn't the same. Where I think at Tottenham he's got. I mean, obviously he's got Son and Kane. I think he's got Kane playing. I mean, Kane's a great player, but he's got him playing brilliantly. I mean, fucking hell, they ain't even had Bale playing that much yet.
Kane was never this good, man. I know people say Kane was good, but he's never as good as what he's been.
No, he's not.
Lampard, I remember.
Come on, man.
I don't agree with that. I think Kane's always been this good.
He's never
But
been.
maybe after.
Oh, against the big teams. Normally against the big teams, he's quite shocking.
Yeah, but I think I'm not being funny. I think his play before, like, because I used to find he would get the ball, come in, try and build up playing that. He would get it, and then that's where he'd get lost. His build-up play, like against Man City, he was getting the ball and winning the ball back and stuff, and then getting onto it. Where before he would try and do that and then get lost. Where I think Mourinho, I don't know what. I think since Mourinho's had him, it's something like he's looked at it and gone, right, this is where you need to do it. And I just think he's playing better. I've never thought he's crap, but I just think his build-up play has got better to what it was.
It's like what Jamie Redknapp said after the game. He was like, after the game, they were interviewing Kane, and he was talking about low blocks and middle blocks and all that. And Jamie was like, I've never seen Kane speak like that. He was like, he's obviously believing in the Mourinho. Mourinho's chatting to him, and they're all on the same page. So,
Has your mind changed now, Dean? Do you think you can challenge?
Good question.
No.
No, come on. Surely you're playing some good football.
Well, Joe, this month's gonna resolve it, innit? Because we've got Arsenal, we've got Chelsea next week, we've got Liverpool, and we've got Leicester.
It's a tough month, man.
It's a tough month. So we'll see after this month. You know, I mean, we'll beat Man City. I never thought we'd beat them, but I'll guarantee you, like I said to Wood, Chelsea going to smash us next week. This win will be for nothing.
All right. So if say the season carries on the way, Tottenham and Liverpool, and it's Tottenham and Liverpool fighting for the title. You're a Tottenham fan. Surely you're going to back your team.
I'll be delighted, mate, if we were fighting for it, but I can't see
that. I don't think I'd back Tottenham against Liverpool. Look at all the injuries you got, and you're still.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Still fucking winning, convincingly.
But I like a little. I watched an interview with Frank Lampard when he said Mourinho came into Chelsea, and I think the difference is the type of player that you are, whether you're susceptible to listen to that or whether you think, he's chatting shit, it's bullshit. Do you know what I mean? Like certain players that you'll beef up and you'll tell them things and they'll believe it, and that pushes them on. Like he told Lampard he was the best midfielder in the world. He said, I'll never forget him telling me, you are the best midfielder in the world. Don't let anyone tell you any different. You need to go out there and play like the best midfielder. And he said the same thing to John Terry now. But they were top of their game. They weren't like, don't get me wrong, Lampard weren't like a Xavi at the time. He was, he'd be like 70% out of 100. He was a really good player, but he wasn't right up then. But he became that player because he believed what he was being told. And he took that forward. And I think Kane and a few others have done that. Whereas the Dele Allis and people like, maybe they're seeing through that kind of stuff that the radio says and goes up.
As you were saying that, I was just literally about to say it's about the egos, isn't it? Because look at Kane, he's world class. Look at Son, he's world class. But their egos are they're just plain.
Yeah, well, look at
Dele Alli's ego was a little bit.
Danny Rose had the attitude, didn't he?
Danny Rose as well. There you go. See.
Yeah, and even when he first went there, he tried to sort of rile Dele Alli up and say, "Look, you're his brother. Who are you? Like, where have you gone?" And clearly he tried it because he knows he was a good player. But I mean, I don't think he will be under Mourinho now. I think he's, But yeah, you're right. He does. Some players. It depends on what kind of player you are, doesn't he? You either, Not
only that, I think he's so tactically astute. When he's asking players to play a role, without sounding rude, you need to be quite smart to understand and execute the role he's asking you to play. Yeah. A lot of the players, well, not being overall Dele Alli now, don't seem like he's got too much upstairs. So maybe he's not executing stuff because he ain't really getting what he's telling him to do and he's not really understanding. So then all of a sudden you have a shit game, and then you have another shit game, and then you can't get back, and then you get 20 minutes at the end of the game, you still have you're in a rut then, and you don't get out of it.
We did it at Man United with when we played Chelsea, and he had Herrera. He turned around to Herrera and said, "Right, I want you to follow Hazard." And you see the highlights of Hazard. He walks like literally moves a foot. Herrera moves. He goes, "Right, I'll follow him to the toilet." Right, literally, he has it. And like McTominay, he does it, doesn't he? He finds these players, and if you do what he wants you to do, you're literally going to beat. And that's why he played like, was it Milito that he had at Inter? The striker, everyone thought,
yeah,
didn't he? And he literally made him into like, he ended up getting like 25 goals of this player that really had never really done anything.
Where did they get him from? I think they got him from Sociedad or someone like that, wasn't it, Diego?
He did exactly what Mourinho wanted him to do. He felt, obviously someone like Pogba and that are not going to listen to it, are they?
I've read another article and he said he did it to Matic once. Didn't he give him a bit of paper on the pitch when he was playing for United, and it just said something like, "You've got the next 10 days off." And it was like, basically, he was a bit lackluster, so he just sent a piece of paper on saying, "You have got the next 10 days off." And that straight away, if you've got the right mentality, you got like, "I've got to put more work." He's asking me to put more work in. I've got 10 days off, for fuck's sake. He's asking for more.
Yeah, and like the thing is with Mourinho, I haven't seen him with Spurs kind of have like the big blow off kind of press conferences. He looks a lot more relaxed.
No, a happy Mourinho is a dangerous Mourinho.
Yeah,
that's it. Like, he looked comfortable. Like at Man United, he had to do a job, so he was under pressure every single game.
Problems behind at Man United before he went there, and I think it was the wrong manager at the wrong time. Like it just didn't work, was it? As much as we wanted to. I think what I like about Spurs, what he's doing at Spurs, as much as I don't want Spurs to succeed, is any story thing or something. He's sort of creating it. It's like the whole thing with Gareth Southgate at the minute. He's making this thing about Pep getting his players more time off and that. He's doing it deliberately. He knows fucking hell what he's doing. You know what I mean? He knows full well what he's doing. He's creating a story, and he's dealing with it. He just brings it up when he wants to, and that's what everyone talks about.
And I'll be honest with you, Kev, I'd be exactly the same. Why do I want my star player getting fucked in a shitty friendly?
But didn't he turn around and say, what was it, Birdwine had played for... But didn't he say Birdwine had played and you're not sure? And then he went and started him and sort of... do you know what I mean? He knows what he's doing. Yeah. But he's in the situation, he's controlling it now, where at Man United is completely different. He had bigger egos.
He just plants the seed, Kevin. Yeah. That's all he does. He does it with everyone. Just plants the seed and he watches it grow. You don't even go into it. He just little driving little comments here and there are enough to get people thinking.
Yeah. Takes away from the game, doesn't it?
Chelsea, you saw it as well. Like he was comfortable. He was like, "Look, I know what I'm doing." Like he had the ego. He always has the ego, but like you only saw like towards the end when like Alex Ferguson was kind of in behind him there, going for second place, trying to overtake. Then the pressure starts hitting, and then he's just going mad in the interviews. Like, but at the moment he just looks comfortable. He looks like he's gonna just like chill through the
he's getting back as well, isn't he? Levy's backing him as well, which everyone said that weren't going to happen. He wouldn't have gone to Spurs. Oh, I know you got the new stadium, I think. He would not have gone there, and they're not going to say, right, here's 200 million, but he would have said, look, fair enough, I haven't got 150, but I need some players.
Yes.
Look at Holberg. What did you pay for him in the end?
That from the government.
Yeah, that's true. Furlough money. But like Højbjerg, what did they pay for him? Was it 18? Was it 18?
Yeah, it wasn't that much.
I think it was.
Yeah.
Yeah, do you know what I mean? It's typical Mourinho. He goes to a team, knows where they need to recruit, but then he looks in the league of a good player. So he's like, right, obviously at Man United he wants that DM, so he went and got Matic. Obviously a bit more money, but then obviously he's at Spurs and he's like, right, let me look around. Right, Southampton, he's been there, he's been proven, and gets a
great deal as well, because we sold Kyle Walker-Peters the other way for 12, so we only paid 3 million for him. Really.
You see, you look at Højbjerg, right? What is his best attribute? Would you say?
Leader, 100% leader.
I see him as the dog in midfield. I see him a bit as the role I played. You win tackles, you smash tackles, you give the ball to someone else who's better than you.
So clever.
Headers, you get a yellow card every game. You do what you do, right? Who else in that Tottenham team, in that midfield, could you say was like that?
No one.
So he noticed that you were lacking a real bite in midfield. You got your Harry, you got your nice technical players that are really good, but you got no one that's got that bite to put you on the front foot all the time.
Yeah.
So he's seen that and he's gone out and bought fucking £18 million. What a deal that is in this current climate as well. That is ridiculous.
What about when things go wrong for him though, Dane? Is he going to be the one who can fuck things over, or do you think he'll handle it this year? Because sometimes he just loses his plot.
He'll throw the whole team under the bus, mate. He will throw that whole fucking team.
It's only a matter of time before that happens, isn't it? So I'm just taking each day it comes. So do you know what I mean? Hopefully we get a couple of trophies this season. If not, then fuck knows.
I think it's dangerous if you think about it. If he gets a couple more transfer windows and he's still happy in that.
There's only one bad thing from that game yesterday is that Alderweireld, I don't know how long he's injured for. I don't know if any of you lot know, but he played really well last night.
Oh, he was quality. I'll tell you, he was the one that stood out for me.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
Quality. Won everything in the air as well. But apparently it's a big injury and he's going to be out for a while, but I don't know yet. I ain't heard anything.
Well, that's good news then, isn't it? That's something, I suppose, we can take from that game.
You'll have what's your Wolves man? He'll be back in, won't he?
No, Joe Roden will play, won't he?
We put Rogan in instead of
Roden. I think we're selling Sanchez. You don't like Sanchez. There was a report to Liverpool buying him.
I thought he might put the matey boy, the other right back in right centre mid.
Oh, what? Aurier?
Oh,
Aurier.
No, Ben Davies puts in there sometimes.
No, what's the keys he got from Wolves?
Doherty.
Oh, Doherty. Yeah. No, don't forget, we've still got that Tanganga as well. He's just come back from injury. Really good player, young.
Yeah.
Really good. Played against Liverpool that time, Joe. Do you remember last season? He played really well.
Who was it? Tanganga, is it?
Played right back.
Yeah. He looked pretty good actually.
He's just come back from injury, so he's. But I don't think he likes Sanchez. I think we're going to get rid soon. I really do. He's not in the squad. He's in the last 3 squads.
He hasn't really given Sanchez a chance, has he? I think he's played him and he didn't really fancy him, did he?
Yeah, he made a few mistakes every time.
Dean, what do you think of Chelsea next week? How do you feel?
Oh yeah, 100%. I said this last week, Paul, but yeah, Chelsea are definitely beating us, mate. They just look
every week.
At the minute, they're different gravy to City. They are. Chelsea are playing so well at the minute.
I'd be quite confident if I wouldn't be that bad if I know Chelsea playing well.
They keep doing this while they keep winning. I'm telling you now. I don't believe a fucking shit. That's what it is. He's talking absolute shit. In his fucking tiny little mind now, he's like, he thinks they're going to win everything this year. They're the best team in fucking Europe. It's cool because it's working for him. Don't listen to a word of it, man. I see right through your shit. Honest opinion now. Honest opinion, Dane. What do you think, Chelsea?
Right, honestly, that's
you're at home for it.
No, that is honestly again. I'll be. If we finish 4th at the end of the season, mate, I'll be happy with that.
I think that'd be a score draw.
Do you reckon?
Yeah, I ain't score draw.
I think it's Chelsea, would you, innit?
Huh?
That's Chelsea, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's one of them games, mate. That you look at our form, you look at the way we're playing, and the neutral will say Chelsea should win that.
Yeah.
But I know what Mourinho's like. He is a cunt, and he will be tactically thinking, I don't care about the teams. I don't care about any of the players. Frank's one of my old players, and he thinks he's going to get one over on me. That's not going to happen. And he'll be thinking in a selfish way, I want to tactically teach him a lesson.
Yes, it would. It's natural. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
I love it, Wood.
He's some narcissist, isn't he?
Well, he's going to be thinking, right, they're going to think we're going to come out and try and defend because they got really good attacking players in it. So what we'll do is we'll push right up the pitch and we'll put loads of pressure on their back 3 or 4, put the press on them high up and just shut them down. And I bet that's what they do. I bet you any money.
Lampard will read that because he knows Mourinho, but I know what he's going to try and do here. So we're going to fucking sit back.
Yeah.
2 teams sitting back and nothing will happen.
Yeah.
Lampard don't sit back though, does he? Really?
That's what I'm saying. Lampard only wants to play one way. Like he doesn't want to do the long ball sort of shit. But then again, when you come up against a team, you know the space is not where your back 3 is. It's further up the pitch. Sometimes you have to do that.
Kane against.
How many out of the big 6 have you played, Woody? I know you played us. You lost to us.
2. I think we played 2.
So you played Chelsea, Liverpool, and
Tottenham aren't in the big 6, are they?
no, it was United, wasn't it? It was United you played.
Yeah, United.
Yeah, it was.
Oh yeah, 0-0 draw, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Do you think you've had?
We looked shit in that game as well.
That was a fucking.
Had a fairly decent start in terms of your fixtures.
Yeah, it's been fairly kind. It's not been like, you know, we haven't been.
It's the way you're winning them, though, isn't it? It's the way you're winning them. You're not. Just...
Yeah, but you look, we played against United, Dean, and we looked shit. United were way better than us. They should have actually nicked that game.
You look a different side though since then.
Yeah,
we do. Yeah,
I'll be honest with you. I can remember seeing Chelsea last year, and they were beating the teams they should be beating well. Some of them were 4 and 5 nils.
Dave's not happy with this, is he? He's not rating Chelsea. Yeah?
It's the style of football, though. No, but it's the style of football I think we're playing. I thought that would take a little bit of time to adapt to. I think we touched on it. I don't know if it was in our group or but Ancelotti and people like that.
Yeah.
Do the double and get the sack. And Di Matteo, he played some of the best football I've seen at Chelsea in the last 20 years. Like the way we knocked the ball about, and the players.
He won the Champions League.
That's what I'm saying. Exactly, it was beautiful. But Roman wants a certain type of play on the team. So even though Ancelotti, we got results, we've done really well. We wasn't playing that attractive football, and that's what he wants. He just wants to turn up. He wants every week for us to play like Barcelona and spank the fuck out of every team.
Kane versus Thiago Silva will be interesting.
That won't be interesting, mate. I don't even know if he'll do that, to be honest. I think he will play him, but I think he'll tell him to play a different role. He won't have Kane sitting.
Would you take a draw right now or not?
No, I wouldn't. Not the way we're playing.
Not even away from the top of the league?
Nah, I don't. Nah, I wouldn't take a draw against Tottenham any day.
Would he?
I'll be delighted with a draw.
Mate, we could have a bunch of pensioners playing, and I'd still say I want to win this fucking game.
It'd be a perfect result for Liverpool, really.
Yeah, that would. I was so. You know, what was I saying? I was saying, fucking Liverpool draw, please. Liverpool Leicester. It'd be so nice for them to get a draw.
Yeah.
But you pulled it out of the bag again, haven't you?
Yeah,
not even started the ball rolling.
Are you happy?
Do you want to go on to Chelsea next then, will we?
Chelsea. Let's do it.
Sure.
Cool.
So,
Analysis.
Do
we need to go through the stats? I mean,
God, Newcastle were terrible, weren't they, Woody? I mean, I know they're up and down, but fuck me, they were bad, I thought.
And he rested Callum Wilson as well, which I'm not being funny. I don't rate that other fucking twat they got up there. He is shocking.
What, £40 million one?
You could have had 2 Pierre Højbjergs for that, for fuck's sake.
Fucking hell.
Yeah, he was shocking. Or even 2 Girouds. Fucking hell.
Joe from Linton.
5 Højbjergs for Pepe's money.
Joe from Linton. Yeah,
Joe from Linton.
5 Højbjergs, Kenny, for one shit.
Yeah, I ain't going to lie. I love the way we're playing. We're building something really good. It's enjoyable to watch. I mean, Havertz weren't in the team. Pulisic is not in the team. So there's still some good players to come in. Hudson-Odoi didn't get long enough, in my opinion. Yeah, I think he should have got at least half a game Saturday. But
Werner's just slotted right in perfectly, hasn't he?
Yeah, mate, that run he made for the goal.
Yeah, I love it.
Do you know what I really liked about him? He made 2 or 3 runs like that, and he fucked it up right at the end. Like, there's a couple, some lovely little jink, skip past 2 players, and he played a really crappy, it's a 10-yard ball he had to play across this, like the 18-yard box, and he just passed it straight to the defender. It was so frustrating to watch that, but that bloke don't stop trying. That doesn't affect him. He just continues to play that same way, knowing that it's going to come. It's going to come.
The defender always has to be alert when he's playing because he's just always constant, isn't he?
And if you look at that last run before he set Tammy up, he took it straight through 2 players, but just to come up towards the box, he had done a little jink to the left, which sent the defender on the other foot, tucked into the right-hand side and just played gave him the space just to play an easy ball back in.
He's one dangerous player, man.
Yeah, he's a class player.
I bet if Arsenal signed him in this window, he'd be doing nothing.
He would.
He would have touched the Space Jam ball in the changing room and everyone would have gone out the fucking window.
Hey, Arsenal got the ability to turn £100 million player into like a £10 million player.
I see Kante started to come back to his best a bit, isn't he? Like
his ability was never in doubt for me. Never in
doubt.
I
just think he was a bit out of form, weren't he?
He was slightly out of form. But the thing is with him, when a player like him has an off game, everybody notices it.
Yeah.
I mean, everybody. Like,
he's got high standards, though, isn't he? The last 5 years, he's just been immense.
You can't go and play like that, like he does, and then not be noticed when if you have a bad game, you probably lose the game. That's how people look like shit. Kante played well, Chelsea lost.
Best midfielder, isn't he, in the world? I think still.
No one matches his work rate for me. No. Nobody. I mean, I didn't even disagree when Sarri played him up behind, sort of in a deeper 10 role. I didn't even mind that because I understood the tactic. The tactic was he's got such a good engine and work rate, and he's great at tackling. When they try and keep the ball, our high press, we've got him up there on the high press. It should work great. He should be shutting that ball down quick. We win the ball back in the final third, and we just attack straight away. But when you've got something that isn't broken, the old saying, you don't try and fix it, do you?
They never needed to change him, did they? I know they got Jorginho in and all that, but Kante.
How old is he now, Wood?
Who?
Kante?
About 29, isn't he? 28.
Yeah, 28, 29, yeah.
Expect it to be like 33, 34. He's gone on for ages.
He's such a good player.
I actually think he won a new challenge in the next year or two. I think he might move on.
29, yeah.
Fucking hell, that's young, man.
I like it that we were linked with him, but you were never going to sell him to us. I reckon he'll go to Real Madrid or somewhere, personally.
Mate, you never know. I don't understand our transfer policy. We've seen.
I'll
I
take
don't know why we sold you.
When he was at Leicester, why was no one else going for him? What? I only heard Chelsea.
mad, isn't it?
The whole fucking world should have been after him. The man
34
was
million.
immense that season.
34 million.
Well, he's
So fucking good. That's some good business, isn't it? 34
Hey, what they
million.
paid? 2 mil for him, and he was in like Leicester got him from like a League Two team,
Like
wasn't
a
it?
random French side, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the same with Mahrez, wasn't it? Mahrez was 400k.
Yeah, that's got to be one of the best Premier League signings ever.
Wow. Yeah.
Leicester's scouting network is amazing.
That's a madness. And that Fofana fella today even looked really good, even though they lost. He looks a really good player. Sorry,
Like
go on, we'll go back to Chelsea.
That's okay. That's okay. I mean, Thiago Silva again. He didn't play.
What was really good like?
Rudiger he was all right, but I could tell he's missing a beat
Yeah.
because he's not playing regularly. So, you know, when he's playing regularly, he's quite sharp, he's quite fast, he's quite aggressive. And it seemed like a couple of times, like even just silly things like playing a ball and he was slightly off balance or whatever. And,
Yeah.
you know, and then he'd pass the ball and then think, shit, and he'd be thinking, and then run 15 yards to make space to receive it back. And whereas when you're in the flow of confidence and you're playing every week, you don't think about those things and they don't.
He needs to get fit, though, don't he, for Germany? Because they need some players back. Fucking hell.
Woody, I'll tell you what I like about your team. It reminds me of Tottenham like 5 years ago. Your wing backs. No, do you know what I mean? Though, when we were challenging for the title that year and we had Kyle Walker in his prime, Danny Rose in his prime.
Dean, you need to clean your screen, mate, because you've just put a load of shit all over it.
Your right back and left back are so underrated. They just make the team, don't they?
I don't think they are underrated. I think everyone knows their quality.
I think Reece is well underrated. Well underrated.
See, now we look at Tarek Lamptey, who's obviously done really well for Brighton.
Yeah.
Was it the right decision to let him go instead of Reece?
I like Reece James.
Yeah, I think it was.
Time will tell.
I think
but
Reece is better.
They both look fucking good. Time will tell.
They both look good, but I don't know. Reece just looks power. It just looks, you know what I mean?
I think he's got a bit more to his game. He's got the size, his strength, he's still got pace. But then I look at Lamptey, he don't see put a place for any game I've seen. He hasn't put a foot out of place. He looks dangerous.
Did Brighton have it? Is it Brighton have got him?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did they actually sign him, or was he on loan? They signed him.
They fully
He won't be there long though, will he? Let's be honest.
I
Yeah.
wouldn't think so. A player like that.
clause in such a young player as well. Like there's always going to be a buyback clause.
Don't know. Chelsea don't seem to buy back clause with all their players, do they?
No, we don't seem to put that in place because, like that, Iana, whatever his bloody name was, the right back. He was another one that weren't getting a team. He got a couple of 20 minutes here and there, and then he went to Italy, played for Torino. I think he signed for Torino.
Yeah.
And then it comes to the end of his loan spell, and it was like they wanted to sign him. Someone else, another Italian club, wanted to sign him. So we said, put a buyback thing in there. So if it goes to him, we get a percentage of the sale, whatever it is, and the rest of it. And I don't even think we did that. I think we just let him go. And it's like, why are we just letting him go? And then he signed who did he sign for? I feel like it was Leeds or someone like that. I'm not sure it was, but I'm sure it was another Premiership team he signed for.
Yeah.
But yeah, crazy. But yeah, Newcastle look dog shit. Say it again, Paul.
Mason Mount is having a great time. He's enjoying his football by the looks of it. Like
He looks world class for me. He really does look world class. I would say I could put him in any team in the world right now, and he wouldn't look out of place.
he's fantastic at the moment. Like you can't fault everything he's doing now. Like he's made sure that he's trying to be Frank's starter. Like you know.
Yeah.
When he starts getting assists and goals regularly, I mean, he's going to be one of the best players in the world.
I think it's good because before, when he was coming through, you sort of saw him, you think, right, him and Winks were coming through at the same time. You thought, right, where do they actually play? And now Mount has found his place. Winks, I'm a bit unsure where he exactly plays, but Mount is just, even in England, he's getting, like now, I like it when a player is playing really well for their team and then England pick him and he's getting played in the right place, because I think he's got to play. He puts in the performances for Chelsea, doesn't he?
I think Lampard's being smart with him as well.
Yeah.
He looks like he plays a bit of a free role to me.
you know, I was
Yeah.
just about to say exactly that. If you look at the way he
Yeah.
played against Newcastle, that first, say, 25 minutes, it was like equivalent like Danny Whitmarsh, Kenny. He just go left to right all over the pitch. He was almost in a defensive midfielder role, just spraying passes to everyone. And every time we give him a ball, they just give it him back. And he took a touch and give it to someone else. It was like, you see him there, and then you see him on the left wing. And then you see him behind a striker. And do you know what I mean? For me, he showed signs when he started getting in a team. He showed signs and you thought, yeah, he's got some quality. He's going to be a good player. But he's actually doing it regularly now. Every week,
he's come on, hasn't he?
good performances, good touches on the ball, you know, good passes, trying to split defences. He's linking up. He's going back and getting it off the defence. He's doing so much more. I feel like his game's becoming round as we watch it. Do you know what I mean?
I think the loan at Derby when Lampard was there done him a world of good.
Definitely.
World of good.
He would not have got that time at Chelsea, 100%.
No.
So that was brilliant for him.
Mason Mount is 21, the same age as Willock. Just want to let you know.
What the fuck
I'd
is it?
say that's a dig. That isn't just saying how good Mount is. That's a dig.
100%.
Leave me alone, can you, Dean? Just can't leave me alone.
But it is a good point. It is a fucking good point.
It is, though, isn't it?
Yeah, it is a good point. When you look at when Fabregas and Rooney, I know they're fucking exceptional players, but what else are we looking for?
Oh, did anyone just come? Now you just said Fabregas, Kenny. Did anyone see him come on the other day? I think they come on from Monaco and just showed his class. That is one player, right? He's still got it. He can't be that old.
2-0 down, they won 3-2.
Oh,
Basically,
I didn't fucking hear about that. No,
did you see it? Oh, you need to look. I'll have to send you it. He comes on. I think were they 2-0? It was 2-0 down.
2-0 down, yeah.
And he come on. I think he scored and then set up to it.
Did you watch the penalty shootout last night, America?
Oh, yeah, I see that.
That was mental.
Manager went down the thing.
That was mental. Watch out. If you haven't seen it, watch the penalty shootout from last night, Orlando. Mental. Nanny took a penalty miss.
Send us a link, Dean. Find the link after. I'll send it to us.
Yeah, I'll send it. Oh, mate, mental.
Woody, there must be a bit of confidence creeping in, a bit of fucking hope that maybe with Liverpool and all these injuries and.
You know what? I know like managers like to play it down all the time, and it's frustrating when they go, "Yeah, well, you know, it's early day." I get it. I get why they're having to say that and why they're having to ground everyone and go, it's a full season. Do you know what I mean? If we have a little blip in the middle of the season, we lose 3 games, that's the league gone. So he's got to try and maintain that. Forget all that shit. It's game by game. Every game we prepare for it and all the rest of it. But if you look at the team and you look at the way we're playing, I don't even feel like we've hit full stride yet. I feel like we're playing well. We're gathering momentum. But I definitely think we're in for a shout in the league. The way that everyone else is so unpredictable at the moment, you don't know who's going to win and lose every single week. So I'd definitely say we're in for a shout.
I just posted it in the chat there, lads, on the Zoom.
And not only that, I think if a team's going to win the league, you actually have to believe as a team that you're going to win the league. You know, you're never going to go into each game thinking, "Oh, actually, we're doing all right." You know, there's going to be a certain point, maybe in 2, 3, 4 games, where people start going, "Actually, we could do this." You know, and then once you start believing that you can do it, that's what you go on and actually do it.
Do you think by January we'll sort of have more of an idea? Like, I know it's different. Do you do it? In January we'll.
I think it'll still be like 5 or 6 teams that within like 4 or 5 points of each other.
I think we're going to see a lot more injuries in then. I think end of January is when we're going to see injuries.
Yeah.
I think the worrying thing is going to see who buys in January.
Yeah.
Because if Tottenham buy another player or 2, you know, Liverpool might even want to strengthen because their injury list.
They did the defender straight away. That's Liverpool's first thing. They need
talk about Sancho.
Did I just see a red card from a keeper coming off the line for a penalty?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they can't sub him because it's in the penalties, so they can't sub him off.
Do you see the manager go down the line as well? The manager's come down the tunnel.
Yeah, the manager thought he'd won. He's won off now.
So another player went in goal.
No,
another player went in goal in the end. Yeah.
Oh my god.
That's fucking madness.
That's
why would you get sent off just because you stepped above
and
the line?
saved the penalty as well. Wood wins in the game.
What, the player?
Yeah.
That's fucking brilliant, crazy. Man. Well, don't spoil it. I'm still watching it.
Oh, sorry, mate.
No spoilers.
Are you going to be watching Match of the Day 2 or anything tonight, Dean?
Yeah, 100%. Can't wait for it. Watch every Match of the Day at the minute. I'm loving life.
Have a look. Right? Yeah, good point. Have a look, right? Everyone, actually. I don't know if anyone will remember it off the top of their head, but there was a penalty shout for the Arsenal game where I think we had a shot or tried to put it in the box, and arm was in an unnatural position, hit him square in the arm there, and the referee just waved it away. VAR weren't interested. Have a look just to see. I mean,
I actually missed the first half, Ken. So was it in the first half?
No, I think it was in the second.
I've just put Fabregas.
All right, I'll have a look.
That's Fabregas on the group. I've just put that Fabregas coming on yesterday.
Kenny, no offence, mate. I think you're clutching at straws.
Mate, we didn't deserve the point. Never mind 3. But just out of interest, have a look and see what you think, because it looks inconsistent to me.
To be fair, I can see you. I'm not. I haven't seen it, but I guarantee United would have got that.
Well, yeah, this is.
Yeah.
United would have got that pen.
Yeah. Have a look at it. I reckon you'll agree.
Mate, that's a good point. That United. Oh my God.
Come on, what is going? United, fuck off.
What? No,
That's taking a piss, Joe. That's taking a fucking piss. They do it week in, week out. What do I do with my VAR? It's a fucking joke.
Tell me why? Because the ball didn't move. That's what I don't understand. If the ball, I can understand it would have been harder if the ball had moved a different direction, but it didn't move. Like literally, his leg moved.
I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about give the pen. Right, he's gone over and now changed it. He wouldn't do that if it weren't United. United, if that's any other team, it's a pen. He wouldn't even go and check. It's a pen.
Dean, do you
2
actually
minutes later, United go and get a pen for a shitty penalty that Arsenal should have got today, and they didn't. Where's the pens?
Do you think that
Why do United get all the cheating fucking VARs week in, week out? We see it. They've had 37 penalties in the last year or so. No other team is close to that. No other team is close to that.
In a minute, we're going to get Mendy. It was over the line. It was miles over the line.
Yeah, as well, miles.
So, do you actually think it was a penalty? The Conor Gallagher one.
Yeah.
So I'm not too sure. I watched that back and I thought that was. He does make contact, but not enough to take him off his feet or even your leg.
I've seen less given. Put it that way.
I have seen less given, but if that was me, I think that's light to give that. I think I was actually right to reverse it.
Well, we've all got our old school head on.
Yes, that's true. United's penalty was a penalty because I actually think they fouled Conor Gallagher in the lead up to that. So that
it's an annoying thing. Yeah, exactly.
Didn't look at that though, Woody, did they? No, because it's Man United.
No.
That's what I mean. Yeah,
he's not happy enough being top.
Wasn't that referee the one that got thrown off of the Liverpool game? The referee was our game, was the one that got booted from. That was the one that fucked up at Liverpool, wasn't it?
Because they said we downgrade you to a shitter team or a shitter game.
Yeah, but he was going to get given the Liverpool game again, weren't he? And then it was like you can't. He got taken off it, and it was like, he's a shit referee.
I'm not 100% sure, but was that the one we said was from Greater Manchester?
Yeah, that's him, isn't it?
I know he can't be.
Yeah.
He couldn't have refereed our game, could he?
Right, fair enough.
He can't ref Manchester derby because he's from Greater Manchester. You know,
Yeah, but he couldn't be he's a shit ref anyway, to be fair.
Yeah.
I think, I think he's shocking. I think even the Villa one, that was weird. I'm trying to think who got that was at the end, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Before I get to ask you, is Fernandes going to stop doing that fucking little jump now that he's missed?
Thank God. How stupid.
I don't think he will.
It's not making any fucking difference. It's not making any difference because he's still missing penalties.
He makes the penalty.
He misses it. He gets to take it again, though, doesn't he?
He's no Jorginho, man. He's no Jorginho. You can't copy that, man.
Well, do you know what? When he missed that first pen, and he got the retake, I thought he's just going to bang this. He's just going to run up to him and bang it and be
still fucking about.
He keeps missing, and he's done the same thing. I couldn't believe it.
It looks so fucking stupid.
Shit! What is he doing? Stop doing it! Stop doing it! You fucking.
Talk about Man United now.
No, he's a fucking idiot.
I don't know how many times you said fucking the last minute thing.
He is. Joe, just for that penalty makes him an idiot, no? Do you
no, he's a brilliant footballer.
Fucking idiot. Every penalty
just because Levy was too fucking tight to pay for him, you can't hold that against.
I agree.
I'm sure he got man of the match, didn't he?
I think so, yeah. Not that anyone should have got man of the match.
He cheats. Fucking cheats. All he does is cheat. Portuguese fucking cheating cunt. Fuck you.
All right, mate. Fuck you.
Jesus Christ.
Very controversial comment.
What nationality is Mourinho?
Yeah, I know.
Fucking cheating cunt.
It's a joke, though. It pisses me off. It's just one of them players I want to punch in the face about 1 million times. I hate him.
Kev, that must have been a nice feeling because it must have felt like Fergie was back at Old Trafford. Come on, that must have felt like that.
Yeah.
No. I'd actually like to just win a game without any controversy.
I don't think you can at the moment. That's the problem.
No, I can't.
The worst. That's the annoying thing about it is I didn't actually take like, oh yeah, we got 3 points. It's great. It's like no, one because they should have had a penalty. Do you know what I mean? They should have had a penalty, and we've literally scored from a penalty.
That shouldn't have been a penalty.
Yeah, it's not the right way to win. Like, you know, I'd much rather. I mean, when he saved the first one, I was thinking, okay, fair enough. It sort of evens out them not getting a penalty. You know, not getting a penalty they should have got. You know, and I was thinking, okay, but then like when I saw they explained, I was like, for fuck's sake, he's off the line. Here we go. I knew straight away. That's it. Man United get all the fucking penalties. I was like, for fuck's sake, can we not just not get penalties? Do you know what I mean?
I'd say there's one bonus though. That's that we're not talking about Harry Maguire anymore.
He's doing all right. He's doing all right.
Forgotten all
Hey.
about him. We've already
Hey.
skipped
He's on the radar a little bit.
He's doing okay.
Harry Maguire is a quality defender. Don't let anybody change your mind. He is a good defender.
Good Sunday league, Joe. Yeah, but
what I talked
he is though, Joe. Come on.
He's good. He's just his
Good
price
Sunday
tag.
league, big fat defender. Yeah, good Sunday league. No pace. I get
To be
it.
fair, Dean,
No, but
just to put it out there, if it was between Eric Dyer and Harry Maguire,
you pick Harry
I'm gonna be
Maguire.
honest,
Shut up,
I would pick
Steve.
Harry Maguire.
Of course you
Yeah, no,
would.
I would.
Did you watch that
I
game
think
yesterday?
there was some statistics saying
Well,
last
did you
season that he
honestly
was
watch
as good
that
as
game
Virgil van Dijk.
Yeah.
So I mean, he's obviously not a bad defender. Obviously, Man United had to do a bit more defending than him.
Hang about. Does anyone else think that Maguire is better than Eric Dyer?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maguire's
Yeah.
not. Dyer's not a centre back. He's a defensive
Oh,
midfielder.
man, he's still better.
Nah, he's not.
Of course
Still
he is.
Bella. He's still
Yeah,
Eric Bella.
The price tag is basically because it's an English premium.
Yeah.
You know, there's a premium on an English player. Like it's basically you don't need to he's a homegrown player, so you can get more foreign players as well as like anyone who plays in the Premier League. There's a premium on it. So like he's English, he's from the Premier League.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lenny, don't forget, on the first video, what did I say about Eric Dyer? I said he will be, by Euro, he will be England's #1 centre back. Remember I said that?
Yeah, he did say
You
that.
also said the fucking Eric Lamela was one of the best players in the world.
He also said
He's
that.
one of the best players in the world, Joe.
No,
Shut
you did
up.
pretty much. That's the first
I didn't
one.
say the best player. I said he's better than Pep. I said he's better than Pep, which I still agree with after today. Yeah, thanks.
Man United now.
I think Eric Dyer's playing well at the moment. But
Yeah.
I consider him a huge donkey. He's playing out of his fucking skin at the minute.
Eric Dyer's playing under Mourinho. Maguire. is
Really, I hope
playing
you say
under
that. What Eric Dyer
Solskjaer.
gave out, he's fucking brilliant, mate. He's
Mate, I do
brilliant.
watch him get. Don't get me wrong, Dean. He has a good game sometimes, but he's not a great player. He's slow in the head. He's slow in the feet. You wait until we play you, mate. You wait.
You know
till-
what's funny? They
No.
both look like
Guarantee you've
fucking
heard of
Really, the only
freaks.
thing I'll give you, yeah, he's a bit slow, but he's not slow as Maguire. He's slow for a defender. I prefer my defenders like Rio. Bit fast, but he's slow. He's not slow as Maguire. Maguire's well slow.
Well, I think we're going to mince him up next week. If he plays centre back next week, you watch Werner and Tammy and that crucifying.
I hope he does. Oh, fuck
Tammy
it.
won't. Werner will. Because Tammy's strong and he's not really. Werner's quite quick, so it might be a bit different with
Yeah,
Werner.
but it'll be easy for Tammy. Tammy will just play with his back to him. He'll suck him straight in, and there'll be a massive gap in behind.
Fine. That Dyer will have a Tammy in his back pocket. No problem.
No,
at
I'm
all.
gonna tell you-
No problem at all.
Dean,
No
let's
problem at all.
Let's have a game of poker on that, yeah? So next time we have a poker game, you can pay for my entry if you win, all right? If Chelsea win, you pay for my entry.
I'm not
If
saying we're going to win. I didn't say that.
One now.
I just said that Eric Dyer will eat him up for breakfast.
Dean, I'm sure you can afford
No
it.
two ways about that. I'd have a bet on that. Every ball, Eric Dyer will be winning. 100%.
Every ball, yeah?
Slash Sergio Ramos.
9 out of 10, yeah.
Every ball you just said.
Yeah.
9 out of 10.
Really?
Lads, are we still talking about Man United here? Okay.
Come on, man. Yeah, let's push it. Sorry. It's fucking getting late already.
Right.
Everyone's looking forward to Tottenham Chelsea.
Yeah, we could probably just copy and paste every fucking thing that we've been saying from every other game this season for Man United, couldn't we? It's the same shit.
Yeah.
Cavani looked all right though. I liked Cavani this week.
Yeah, Cavani looks sharp.
Yeah.
He
did look better.
I
Their
found-
keeper had a good game though, didn't he, Kev?
Who? Sorry.
Their keeper had a good game.
Oh yeah, I thought their keeper. I thought Johnson. I mean, he's come back to Man United, didn't he? So he's, but yeah, I thought he was actually really good.
Yeah,
Yeah,
could have been. It could have been 2 or 3. I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah.
penalties aside, it could have been 2 or 3 without. some
Martial should have.
quality saves.
Martial should have scored. I mean, there was a couple of opportunities that he had, but any other time you would have just banged it in. Rashford looks a little bit. I don't know. It just looks like he's. I don't know if he's trying too much. He just looks a little bit off it. But yeah, obviously Donny didn't start again. come on.
With Pogba playing, huh?
No, Pogba's in. I think he's got some sort of injury or something. Because there's a big thing about Pogba's been dropped. It's like, no, he's already said he's injured. So yeah, it is what it is.
I've got a bad feeling that you're actually going to get Haaland as well. And do you know what? I read an article.
Well, his dad was talking about, weren't he?
Yes, because obviously Ollie gave him his chance at Mulder, didn't he?
Yeah, his dad
He
said about.
Oh yeah, but Ollie's not there for the future.
No, but he said he hugely. I wouldn't be surprised if they keep him long enough to sign somebody like that, because that'd be a shrewd move to do something like that.
Fucking hell! Can you
if he did influence on Haaland, you would keep him in place because that's 100%. Worth doing. That's worth dropping down the table for a season.
I mean, he said that Ollie was like, he said he gave him loads of good experience and but he said not only is he a great person, he's really helped my football career, my development, all the rest of it. So someone you hold in high esteem like that, you're going to want to play for him again.
I think you have to say those sort of things, don't you? If you're being a professional, you don't say, "Do you know what? Ollie was good for me, but he's fucking shit at Man United." You know, next, you're going to be professional about it.
Premier League. I think if he wants to come to Premier League, he likes to challenge Haaland as well. I think he's that sort of player that would like a challenge, and he'd think, "I'll go there and fucking smash it."
Let's be honest.
I can see him going to City, if I'm honest.
He reminds me of a young Ruud van Nistelrooy, great finisher.
He can play for any team. It's going to be a bidding war for who can give him the best contract.
Well,
because
look, if you look at City, City are struggling for goals. Yeah. Aguero's on the way out. He's what, 33, 34 now? He's basically done because he's always fucking injured. Who else in the world right now could you sign?
Oh no,
makes your team that much better. It's got to be Haaland or someone like that.
It's going to be a bidding war because it's 62 million for him with his buyout clause.
Okay, well, all right. If it comes to a bidding war, who wins? It's got to be Man City, surely. Or Chelsea.
100%.
Who would you want to play for? If you look at the Premiership teams now, and you're Haaland, right? And every team in that top 6 or top 10, they want you. Who are you going to go? Who and why?
Liverpool, all day.
Yeah, Liverpool. Yeah, Liverpool. They could do it.
Yeah, Liverpool. You'd choose Liverpool over Man City, but then would Liverpool splash that money?
I'll tell you what, they need to.
Oh, we would, because I think Firmino, Mane, or Salah, one of those three are leaving in the next year or two.
Get rid of Firmino.
You'd get a lot of money from Firmino, though, would you? You'd get money for Salah and Mane. You'd get good money for them too.
Yeah.
I don't think it makes sense. I don't think it makes sense for him to go to Liverpool, who are already established winning stuff. I think the Man City thing makes sense because, like you just said, if Aguero's on the way out, there's a position ready for him just to slot straight in. Yeah. So that makes loads of sense. He knows they're going to have a good team in that. I also think Chelsea are in for a good shout because it's a young team. So he might look at that and think there's loads of young, good, up-and-coming players and we can actually build something there.
Actually, Paul, was it his dad that played for City as well?
Yeah.
Alfie Haaland played for City, but he also played for...
Boy Keane broke his leg.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's it.
Was it really? Was that his dad?
Yeah.
Oh,
shit.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Running Boy Keane, all right.
Hey, he's not going to Man United.
The only thing with him, right, is you'd get him. That'd be my only concern, right, is you'd get him. Obviously, he's going to be on high wages and that, but is his fucking agent, like, he could have, like, 2 good seasons, and you know that once he wants to go...
Yeah, that's it.
I mean, it don't matter where his players are. They could be at Juventus or Borussia Dortmund. Once they want to go, they go. Do you know what I mean?
I fucking hate that Raiola fella.
Yeah. Like, the only reason Pogba hasn't left Man United is because no one will pay him the wages. That's the only reason. Not the fee. It's not the fee at all. It's his wages, and that's the only reason he's still at Man United.
I think the good thing of Haaland, I don't think his value will drop though, because I think he'll score goals wherever he goes. Whereas Pogba's form is completely fucked. If Haaland's playing for a team like City with De Bruyne and Bernard and people like that, he's going to score loads of goals.
Yeah. He's such a good footballer, man. He's so clinical. He's got to be the most clinical forward in the world.
It's not just Premier League. Barcelona don't have anyone that's scoring goals. Real Madrid don't either.
They don't got any money though, Paul.
Yeah, true. Kev, just a quick one on your striking force. Is the goal in the next few months to have Cavani, Martial and Rashford up there, or is it Martial or Cavani?
I would actually like to see Cavani just playing in the middle and like sort of I don't know, seeing how it goes, because I think Martial isn't always he's just not doing it all the time, and I just find he gets a bit more of a longer run where other players don't when they're not playing.
When you say in the middle, Kev, where do you mean?
Like up top, I want Cavani to play up top.
I wouldn't mind Martial coming to left.
Cavani's movement is just it's brilliant. He's still, I mean, he's got it. I mean, to be fair, I'd probably say give Martial a bit of a drop. Not like just drop him and never play, but I think give him a bit of a timeout and sort of give him a kick up the arse and play Cavani. Because I think he's starting playing him quite a bit more, but I think get Cavani playing, stop playing Mata now, because I think Mata's one of these players, he comes in a bit, but get Fernandes passing the ball and get Donny playing, because give them balls to Cavani, because I think Cavani.
Stop talking about Donny, but I don't understand what's going on there. There must be something behind the scenes going on for him not to be shooting them.
No,
he played quality. Come on, yesterday, last 20 minutes, played great quality.
Yeah, but I think it was a panic buy, because I'm not being funny. Let's be honest. If he was one of our targets at the beginning of the summer, it was with Ajax. It was so easy. It was such a quick deal. I think it was just a panic. I know it's 40 million, but I think it was like, oh, we're going on for Sancho. We're going for Sancho's. Oh, wait there, we can't get him.
We've got to get someone. We've got to get someone.
Yeah, it was like, oh, wait, Donny will do.
Even if that was the case, surely, after watching his performances...
It annoys me because every time he's played, he's looked quality and he's showing the way that he was known for at Ajax, like going in, doing all the different... And he, like, I'm not being funny, he looks like he's settled in there. Even though he's not played that much, he looks like he's settled in. And he just looks something different to Fernandes. He just looks different, but it really annoys me because I'd play him.
Do you think it's Ollie? Do you think it's Ollie that didn't really want him and he got forced to just have him?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Going, he's not my choice. I don't want him. I'm not going to play him. But when he does play, he's so fucking good. People are like, what are you doing?
Yeah. Yeah, our recruitment is fucked up because
whether it's your choice or not, Woody, if he's good enough to play, he's fucking 100%. Good enough to play.
If you didn't bring him in and you come on and he's giving you those performances, you'd be like, I've got to start him. I'm
not being funny. Look at Southgate with Grealish. He weren't trying to. He was trying not to pick him, wasn't he? Let's be honest.
Yeah.
His hand was forced. Now he's like the bet. He's got to be the first pick in midfield. Do you know what I mean? It's
Kevin, what's going on with Greenwood at the moment? I heard some news about him.
He's like basically. You remember when Kenny was saying about his like one of the players lost a family. Greenwood has actually lost one of his best friends, committed suicide like about 3 or 4 weeks ago. So he's dealing with that. And there's like all these stories coming out, and they think there's someone trying to they reckon someone is trying to mess about with like doing that he's been turning up late for training and stuff. They reckon there's been no problem about his professionalism at all. They think there's something going on. And Man United, I think they're worried because they keep saying about, he's, all this stuff about him going to leave, and Man United are thinking of getting rid of it. It's like, oh yeah, of course they are. Like,
think about Man United and England players going through history. The media love to try and fuck.
I just don't get it. I don't understand with our British. Like, we just want to like bring them up and drop them down. Literally, it's just because you see like with the whole Rashford thing where it's like going on about him buying his 5 houses for his family, but the way they put it. It's just like, they're showing off of their money. It's like, so what? I'm not being funny. If we all had that money, wouldn't we buy houses for our family?
Yeah, I'll buy all your fucking houses, mate. Fuck you.
They could give a fuck. Enough, mate.
But there is an obsession with like.
I'll kick you out, Joey, as well. I wouldn't let you live there.
But yeah, I just think it's.
The Sun love it. They love going for these young players. As always a young player, there's no. Kind of like, as in, like they wouldn't fuck with Zlatan Ibrahimovic. They wouldn't fuck with anyone like that.
Why do you think that is, Paul? Why do you think they do that to the young players?
Because I think they're an easy target, and
they react. Young people react, and that's what they want. They want that bite back, and then they go, "Ha! He's a cunt. I told you. Look."
Yeah.
And like the thing is, you see it with like Raheem Sterling did a comparison. Like Tosin Adebayo for Man City and Phil Foden. Yeah. Both of them bought houses for their families.
Yeah.
One was Man City player with no appearances, buys house for a family or whatever, flashing the cash without even playing. And then the other one was Phil Foden buys house for his mum in Stockport.
Yeah, good.
And there was like the only difference was Phil Foden played more games and he's white, and Adebayo's black, and you see it all the time in the media, and like Greenwood's another one. Like Greenwood and Phil Foden on the England match, right? Both of them brought girls into the hotel room. Who got the worst on the media? It wasn't fucking Phil Foden.
Yeah, but the worst thing is about that is Phil Foden's got a missus and a young baby at home. Greenwood was single.
Yeah.
That's the worst thing about it. Like
The only reason is because
it's wrong.
Say it. Go on, say it. What's the reason?
Say it, Paul. Say it.
Get it out, Paul.
They're fucking young and black fucking players, like.
Yeah.
That's bullshit.
There it is.
That's a fucking clickbait title there, lads.
Right, so we cut it off the Portuguese, black people. Where we going now?
Nah, to be fair, we're exposing the shit. We're exposing the bullshit. We know it happens. We know what the media are like. We know how they
I
work.
think it's disgusting though, isn't it? It's like you want to build them up, but literally they're not even like saying, "Oh, he's played bad for Man United," and that's it. They're literally looking for shit. Do you know what I mean? It's bad.
Look at Rooney with a hose in it, or the old granny fucking.
Yeah, if he wants to shag a granny, let him.
Granny, lads, can't go wrong.
If I was a reporter and that story landed on my lap, I'd be loving that shit. That's what Rob does. Imagine that Rooney shags 8-year-old fucking hooker like, yes. Yeah. You have to get the details of that one, definitely.
Oh, mate.
Right, Kev, who you got next?
Just looking now. Should know, really, should I? Let's have a
I
quick...
never fucking remember who we got next, man.
You have
Southampton away.
Oh, that's a tough one.
No, it's not, because Thingy's injured, isn't he?
Champions League. Who you got, champs?
We got the team that beat us last time. The unknowns.
Kenny, you'll be all right. You're top of the league with 9 points on your Europa, aren't you?
Yeah, I know. I love Europa League, man.
So you just need a point really against second. You need
Makes
a
me
point
feel
against
so much
second,
better.
guarantee.
Yeah, we'd be all right.
If you finished top 10, Ken, and won the Europa League, would you be happy?
No, fucking would not. No way.
Really? Yeah, but you get into Europe.
When you say top 10, you mean like 9th, 10th?
Just say anywhere out of the top 6. 7, 8, 9, 10.
7th in the Europa League is, yeah, I'd take that.
But would it even matter if you, as long as you stay in the league and you won the Europa League? That means you're in the Champions League.
Yeah.
I know that, but it's about, honestly, I look at Tottenham so much that I can't. It's too big a gap. Too big a gap. We need to be there, man. We've got to fucking get them back. We can't have it. Look at his
So
face.
every year, your goal is as long as you're better than Tottenham.
I'm happy with that. Look at
That's
his
what they care about, Joe.
Look at it.
You know what's going to
No,
happen.
that's all they care. I'm sitting here going, I don't care about Arsenal. They're shit. Just let them get on with it. You know what I mean?
Fucking hell.
Kenny's
the
sitting,
times
there
have
watching,
changed.
Kenny's sitting there watching Tottenham thinking, we could be this good.
Yeah, I wish we were like that.
That
Kenny,
minor
that's a
gap
good-
joke's coming back out soon as well, isn't it? That minor
Kenny,
gap
that's a
is going
good
to
question, because they brought this debate out yesterday on Arsenal Fan TV. If you had the chance to go back, would you have had Mourinho? Because you had a chance at one time, didn't you?
Chelsea.
Yeah, at Arsenal.
Nah, I mean, I get it at Tottenham. He's a bit of a scumbag. Tottenham. I mean, it fits. But Arsenal now, like I said in a group, like Arsenal are a classy outfit, or at least we try to be, or at least we say we are. So, nah, not Mourinho, man. I don't think it would work at Arsenal. I don't think the club would let him fucking do it.
Like we also said in the group, you're fucking deluded, mate, if you think Arsenal are a classy outfit. You want to be a classy outfit, but you're just not there, mate. You're not at that table. You ain't eating with the big dogs, yeah?
Not eating with the big dogs.
And I'm going to defend Arsenal here. All it takes is 3 games, and things
true.
start looking a bit fucking rosy
Yeah.
again.
True.
Man United win the next game and we're 4 points off the top. So
That's what I'm saying.
fucking
That's,
mad.
that's if everyone else loses, Kev.
Yeah, good
Well,
point.
you are all going to lose, hopefully.
Kev still believing. Go on, Kev.
We're saying that, we've got some results coming up. Chelsea could draw with Tottenham. That'd be a great result for the neutrals.
So you don't draw. Just keep drawing your games.
All right, Joey.
Yeah, go on. I'm happy to keep it short and sweet, lads.
Yeah,
Sorry, what did you say again?
Got the toilet.
Yeah, Liverpool amazing. They're going to win the league. Cheers, mate. I'll see you next week, lad.
Yeah, see the pitch.
Sorry.
Go on.
No, it's easy, short and sweet today, lads. Nothing in this game, really. It was basically all Liverpool. Leicester had a few decent counter-attacks. Second half, they probably put a bit more pressure on than the first. Not much in it in the second half, really. Actually, no, that's a bit unfair on Liverpool. I think we hit the post twice and the crossbar. Came really close a few times. Really fucking happy for Firmino before he scored. And I'm happy about that because it wouldn't have mattered if he had a good game if he didn't score or assist. Everyone would just be like, yeah, he hasn't scored, he hasn't assist. So, yeah, and I'm happy about that. Easy game, really. Easy
I
game.
thought that'd be tighter than that. Was it 3-0 it finished?
I thought
Yeah,
that.
3-0. And like I said, we came close a good few times. There was actually one, honestly, it must have been the tightest not disallowed goal, what's it? Where it's, where it's just on the line or whatever, or it's just getting close to being a goal, but not. Honestly, it must have been half a millimeter. It was that close to being a goal. I've never seen anything closer than that than being a goal, but not being a goal. It was crazy.
Liverpool? What, for Liverpool?
For Liverpool, yeah.
Injury though, Joe, wasn't it?
Yeah, Kate. Yeah, so that's probably the only mare on the game, really. That Kate got an injury. Other than that, we were solid at the back, defended well for most of the game, and attacked really well. And Jota again, man, he's having such a good time. This is why I wouldn't be surprised if we lose one of the big three the top three, next season.
Cash in on one of them a bit.
Yeah, because Jota could just slip in there and he'd do a good. He's looking so good. I mean, he looks. How much did you pay for Werner, Woody?
Werner,
that was a lot of money, weren't it?
It was about 50 odd million, something like that, wasn't it?
more than that.
Something like that?
Yeah, I think it was 60 mil. Something.
Quite a lot, weren't it?
Yeah, I think we got.
Category of ability then, Joey, with Timo Werner.
Sorry.
You put him in the same category ability-wise as Timo Werner, then, Joey.
Well, what I would say is they've had about as an equal good start, haven't they? Really, they both look as solid. They look really settled in both sides. Like Werner looks like he's settled at Chelsea. Jota he looks like he's been our player for a while. He looks like he's just taking.
It's one of them that I want to say no, he's not in the same category as Werner, but his performances have told a completely different story. So
yeah, I mean, every game he plays now, apart from the City game, he was a bit quiet. But every game he plays now, he looks our most.
He's lively.
Likely to score.
Yeah, he's so lively. In and around the box, any little link-up plays and that, he's so sharp.
He really is, man. Yeah, he looks a really good sign. And if you consider what I think we're paying him in instalments, like I think it's like 4 or 5 quid every 2 or 3 months or so. Million, sorry. Every 4 or 5 quid. That's a bloody.
Every time you score a tenner.
Yeah, there you go. Cheers.
The funny thing is, Joe, he weren't even like your first choice, was he?
No, I think Werner was the first choice.
I think Werner, and then weren't there talk of that one from Watford? What's his name?
Oh,
they wanted like 60 odd million. It was like, it ain't worth it. And then obviously your assistant, was it your assistant manager had been Jota's manager or something, or coached him before and always kept an eye on him and said, look, go in him. And obviously the deal went really smooth, didn't it? A matter of days, I think the deal was done, wasn't it?
Oh, yeah, it was done in well, from what I read anyways, it was done really swiftly. So, no, honestly, he looks a quality player, and I think that's what I mean. Even if we do sell one of those top 3 next year, obviously you don't want to lose your Salahs or your Manes. Firmino at this point, you can give and take. I'd still love him. I want him to stay, but
yeah, exactly. You do like.
I'm not being funny though. If I was a Liverpool fan, I'm not saying I'd go right sell Salah, but let's be honest, he's not been great. Like, you know how he was like.
I think it's a bit harsh. I think he's.
No, but do you know what I mean? Like before, he was like Salah was like the first match. But what I'm saying to you is, if I was a Liverpool fan, your recruitment ain't exactly that bad, is it? So
bloody good, yeah.
Yeah, do you know what I mean? So Salah, if you did go and get money, you ain't just gonna not get anyone.
This is the thing. If we do sell someone like Salah or Mane or Firmino, we're getting big. We're getting someone good, and he probably won't be the finished article. He'll be the one who's about 22, 23, who's about to become the next best. Do you know what I mean? And we've done that for a while now.
Imagine if you'd have got Werner. Fucking hell, man.
Yeah.
That attack would have been absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah, no, that's true. The thing is, what I would say is Werner, he either plays up top or on the wings. And who do you drop if we did have Werner?
Yeah, but it's the same with Jota, though, isn't it? You've got Jota now, and he's making it that he's forcing himself to start, isn't he? And
to be fair, Klopp has actually their last few games as well before the injuries and stuff, and Salah being out with COVID. He did actually manage to find a way getting Jota into the matches as well. So I think he dropped Firmino back a bit and played Jota up top or Salah up top.
Yeah.
Are you surprised how well you've played, Joey? Like with your injuries and everything, are you surprised?
Not really. I'll be honest. I still expected the win today. I still expected us to be. I didn't know it was going to be this comfortable. I thought we'd win. I wasn't expecting 3-0 and then barely having a decent chance.
Yeah.
And we could have probably should have scored more.
That's a sign of a good manager. I know we know Klopp's fucking top manager anyway, but I mean that's a shit Fergie used to do. Like he'd go win the league with a team on paper. You look at it and you think, how the fuck do you manage that?
Yeah.
He would go into a game on a Saturday and tell everyone how shit and depleted his team was and didn't expect a result out of it, knowing full well that he was going to go all out and fucking win the game.
Yeah, that's the thing. Anyone could slip in, couldn't they, in the Liverpool team? You could sort of go and put Milner in there like you did today, and he puts in a shift, but you'd think...
Milner was brilliant today. He's my man of the match.
Right back today.
Love Milner.
Right back, yeah. He's my mate. We came off at about the 60th minute, I think it was, because of an injury to Keita. So he went into midfield, and then we put on Neco Williams at right back. But I thought he was brilliant, Milner, today.
He's
My
got
man
better
of the
with
match.
age, Milner, isn't he? His age, he's just got better.
Oh, it doesn't matter to him. I mean, he still wins all the Liverpool relays and stuff in the training and
He's
stuff.
got to get another year, isn't he, Joey? Because he signs a year, doesn't he? He's got to get another year, isn't he? Why wouldn't you?
Definitely.
Yeah, it might have something to do with how many minutes he plays or whatever. But yeah, I mean, I'd keep him on just for the fact of we've seen how many injuries we've had this year. And I mean, if you think of James Milner, you think of a midfielder. Yeah. I mean, he's not a midfielder. He can play anywhere.
Yeah.
He can play anywhere apart from in goal. That man, he just does everything that you need to do, and he's solid. He's always a 7 out of 10, and that's what I love about Milner.
Yeah. Like Milner, he played at left back for you for a good bit. He played left back for Man City for a good bit. He played as a striker when Aguero was out injured. He could play anywhere in the fucking team.
And what is he? He's like 34 now, 35?
Yeah.
It's crazy. Fair play to the man. He's got some fitness.
I adore James Milner as a player. But when he left to go to Liverpool, I just felt so deflated because he was just one of those players that you keep on the bench and just be like, look, shit's hit the fan. You're our defender now. Hop in.
Yeah.
It's a bit like the old
and Philip Lahm.
Philip Lahm was always like that. Wherever he played, he used to come on for Bayern and he used to play left back, right back, centre back, fucking defensive midfield. He'd always play well.
And it was crazy about it as well. When you think of like most players that start young, say like 16, 17, and they're playing first team football, they usually like sort of like whimper out towards 30, 32.
Yeah.
I mean, I think he was the youngest ever goal scorer at one point in the Premier League.
Yeah.
16-year-old at Leeds, wasn't he?
And he's still 34, 35, and he still looks like a top quality player in the Premier League. So fair play to him, man. You've got to give him credit for that.
Yeah.
Right, I'm gonna fly, boys. I've got to piss off.
Just before you go there, this is like some really random shit that I never knew. Bobby Firmino's real name is Roberto Barbosa de Oliveira, and Jota's real name is Diego Teixeira da Silva. I mean, what the fuck?
Some dodgy shit going on at Liverpool. Yeah. He's a fucking imposter.
Dino, what's your real name?
Wait, I know what Kenny's name is.
Yeah, go on, lads. I'm off there.
Right.
Nice one, lads. Cheers.
Nice one.
Yeah.
You willies.